Hello and welcome to this new Let's Play of Our Bad Ending. Here is the synopsis for this game. Shira and Huimin once made a wish to a banana tree spirit. It was a silly, childish ritual they had found on a blog. They wished to stay best friends forever, except that Shira wished, "I wished she would be mine." Years later, it turns out that whatever demon or spirit they had spoken to doesn't grant wishes. Huimin has been seeing a boyfriend for 5 years, and they even booked out a chalet to celebrate their anniversary. Shira's wish might as well be a joke, until a frantic phone call arrives in the middle of the night. A lover's quarrel had turned violent. Huimin begs Shira for help, and slowly a dark and malicious desire begins to take root in her head. Maybe the spirit does listen after all. So yeah, this is a dark yuri game intended for mature audiences, so be aware that it does contain stuff like violence, gore, abuse, homophobia, and also some sexual themes, and even a few jump scares. Huh, interesting. But yeah, I am in the mood for some toxic yuri, and here it is, so let's start. Yes. The night was sweltering, warm, with a heavy humidity that sank into my clothes. I feared that reaching to put on our shoes would wake someone, so we snuck out of the camp, barefoot. But I barely noticed the earth cake between my toes. Instead, I was focused on her hand, warm where it was wrapped around my own. I let her lead me along to the forest at the edge of the campsite. "Shira, do you have the string?" I blinked, then felt around in my pocket for the pool of red thread. I had taken it from my home economics kit before we left for the trip, along with a small pair of scissors. Yeah. We had first discovered the ritual on a blog. There had been many, ranging from confusing to downright morbid, but when we landed on this one, it felt safe enough to try. After all, we just had to. Tie a red string to a banana tree. Connect that same string to our pinkies. And make a wish. Remember, we have to make the same wish or it won't come true. Yeah, I know. Best friends forever. I nodded to show her that I had understood. Huimin returned a smile, gentle and sincere. Even in the dark where I could barely make out her features, the gesture made my chest tight. Then we both lowered our heads and clasped our hands together again. Make the wish in your heart. The blog had instructed, my heart thundered in my chest. Huimin wished for us to stay best friends forever, and I wished her to be mine. Whatever demon or spirit that was supposed to grant our wish never did. More than a decade later, Huimin and I, neither together nor best friends. At least best friends probably see each other more in person than on Instagram. Instead, she's been seeing this guy for 5 years. Their smiling faces pressed together along with the caption teases me. "Anniversary chalet with the bye." I can already see how it will go from here. Soon they'll get engaged, then they will apply for a BTO flat, get married and move out together. It's ever popular Singaporean dream of building a nuclear family. Huimin had always wanted her own place, so I should be happy for her, but bitterness churns in my stomach. Her boyfriend's smile taunts me, reminding me of what I can't have with her in this stupid heteronormative country. I closed the app. Years ago, despite everything, I thought we had a chance. I thought that if life just metered and turned in the right way, If we was stubborn enough and lived by our own rules, we could have our happy ending too. No, I don't know anymore. I think of that ritual. If it had worked, would it have saved or doomed me? A tired sigh consumes me and I close my eyes. It's too much for tonight. I don't want to spiral into this again. Well, I suppose being best friends would be better than nothing, yeah? I'm indoors, but there's sand beneath my feet. It must have followed me from the beach, stubborn even as I walked for miles, clinging to my soles to finally make it into my home. But this is not my home. I'm in someone else's house. There is a stench in the air, the smell of a mess that had not been cleaned up, of something left to rot. Is this what the description meant with turned violent? Something resembling... Oh. It was a dream. As I shake off the grogginess, I realize my phone is ringing. I frown. Calls this late at night are never good. Yeah. Min? Why would you call me? Despite the oddity of the call, my heart swirls with fondness at the thought of her on the other side. Without sparing another moment, I accept the call. Shira? Shira, are you there? She sounds frantic, her voice breathless and pitched. I'm here, Min, I'm here. What's wrong? Oh my god, Shira, The line cracks, movement muffling the receiver. As I strain to hear her, I realize in horror that Huimin is crying. Calm down, tell me what happened. David and I had a fight and I pushed him by accident and then he just... Can you come to the chalet, please? I don't know what to do. Okay, can you text me the address? I'll go now. Yes, I'll text you. You'll help me, right? Of course, we're best friends. I don't know why I said that. We haven't even acknowledged that in years. Thanks, Shira. After the call ends, I stare at the screen, letting it sink in. Something had happened between Huimin and her boyfriend. Something bad. My first thought was that he had hurt her, but she said she had pushed him. A dark, malicious thought began to take root in my head. Are things finally turning in my favor? Did the demon coiled in the trunk of the banana tree hear my wish after all? My phone pings, startling me out of my thoughts. A few texts had come in from Huimin. The first one was a badly typed address, followed by another text that corrects a few typos, while also making new ones. Finally, a third one comes in with everything laid out corrected. This one, she says. Sorry. I fire a quick text back to acknowledge it, then move to get changed to leave the house. At this hour, the buses and trains have long stopped running. A cab is too expensive. I grab my bicycle instead. I know the chalet is about 20 minutes away by bike. It's an old establishment on East Coast Park, popular for barbecues near the beach. I've been there many years ago, as part of our secondary school class gathering. It was supposed to be a fun sleepover with everyone, which in theory was exciting, but became a huge mess in execution. I can imagine, but it still sounds fun though. Eventually, Huimin snuck over to my house and slept over there instead. I hated the class trip, but our own sleepover felt special. That was when I stopped my thoughts there. I arrived at Huimin's chalet. It's dark, but I can make out the villa number outside the door. It's one of the last few villas at the edge of the property, closer to the forest than the beach. I leave my bicycle by the side of the road and walk up to the door. I knock 3 times. Women, it's me, Shira. Phew, she is looking bad. Oh, yeah. Something bad must have happened is an understatement. Girl, where did you push him? The door unlocks. Huimin peers out. I'm taken aback by the blood soaked into her clothes. Huimin? Shira! She reaches for my arm, grabbing on tightly. Her nails dig into my flesh as she trembles violently. I can trust you, right? Promise me that you won't call the police. Promise me, please. The words tumble out of her, a desperate and incoherent plea. My mind is whirling. Are you hurt? Huh? I reach out with my other hand, pushing back her unkept hair to look at her face properly. It seems like there's blood everywhere, even splattered on her face. It makes me sick, thinking any of it could be hers. The blood. Did you get hurt? Women finally realizes what I'm asking about. She peers down at her shirt, seeming to take in her own appearance with fresh shock. It's not mine. Okay. I breathe a sigh of relief. But Shira, I did something bad. Please don't call the police yet, okay? I didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it. You'll help me, right? The tear-stained face tugs at my heart. Whatever conscience I had crumpled easily in this way of a plea. I have a slow sinking realization, like an anchor doomed for the ocean floor. That I was ready to do whatever she asked of me. I mean... yeah. I mean, covering up stuff like this is not gonna be good on anyone's mental health. But it's still something that you would probably understandably do if you're not close with the person who died. Of course I help you. A small relief blooms on her face, but quickly disappears as she leads me into the villa. She got him good, man. Jeez. He's here. Huimin pauses in the doorway, leading to the living area. It's the scene from my dream, but crystal clear and real. The room is in disarray, furniture upturned and thrown from its original place, the remnants of a fight. David has collapsed head first into a glass table. Shards exploded and littered over the floor with blood pooling on his body. Did Huimin do this? Besides me, a loud gasp escapes her. Oh my god! Oh my god! Shira, did I kill him? I hold my breath, heart hammering in my chest as I approach the man. The glass crunches under my shoes and blood sticks to the soles. This close, the blood stuck in his hair and skin is dark and vicious. Something vile and utterly wrong. I knew the answer before I pressed 2 fingers to his neck, that there would be no pulse. He's dead. Understandable reaction, I suppose. Women screams, chest heaving like an animalistic reaction. I am curious though, what the heck happened? I whirled around, pushing her hair back to look at her face. She looked pathetic, pale and trembling, as she all would fall apart. Min, look at me. I promised that I'll help you, right? She nodded slowly. So I'll help you. Let's bury him. And then clean up. What you gonna tell his family, though? Okay. I took on Huimin's arm, helping her up to her feet. She pointedly avoids looking at David again, rifling through a few drawers before pulling out a large black trash bag. I let her handle his feet while I dealt with his bloodied head. Together we wrapped the body in layers and layers of black plastic until we could neither see his skin or the clothes on his back. We dragged the body out to the back. The chalet sits on the edge of the property, facing out into the forest. Grass had overgrown and neglect, long and spindly at our feet. Let's bury him here. I dug my hand into the earth, prying grass and soil away. It's long, arduous work, toiling away with nothing but our bare bodies. Yeah, I think a shovel would be really great now. Maybe we should have scouted for tools in the house, something to use as a shovel. But as I peer over at Huimin, the bare motion seems to feel like repentance. I don't speak a word to her. I just keep digging, nails growing black with dirt and skin turning bloodied. We paid together. When at last a large enough hole appeared, we pushed the body in and covered it up. The room also needed cleaning up. Woman gathers a broom to sweep up the glass shards that had flown to every corner of the room upon impact. Scrub blood off the tiles, turning an old wreck pink. Covering this up will be very difficult unless you plan on replacing everything here without anyone noticing. I think we're done. Woman stares at me wordlessly, eyes blinking in a daze. I realize her blouse is still soaked with blood, the substance caking into her hair along with dirt from the backyard. Her face is blotchy with dry tears, sweat pooling at her neck. You should take a shower. Woman reaches out, fingers closing around my jacket. You too. I wasn't sure what she meant or what was going to happen. I wasn't sure up until we were shuffling in the bathroom together, shedding our clothes and stepping into the shower stall, with the hot water poured down both our backs. You can go first. The phrase lingers at the tip of my tongue, always on the verge of being voiced before I swallow it down. Something about the way Huimin had closed her fist over the lapel of my jacket, the way she tugged on my arm to lead me to the bathroom, the way she loosened my hair tie and pulled my ponytail apart. I couldn't say it. Instead, I grasped at the straws presented to me, fingers threading through her fine black hair. I'll help you wash your hair. Are those bruises? They don't look like blood. Okay. As the soap ran down her back, I noticed purplish bruises blooming on her back. They were stark against her fair skin, big patches that seemed deliberate rather than accidental. Though as Huimin shivered, I wondered if she would want to talk about it at all. Alrighty, let's save. Let's ask her about the bruises. Huimin, are you okay? Your back is covered in bruises. Oh. I try to be careful, stringing my words together cautiously so that she doesn't close off. Is it recent? I don't know. I can't really keep track. My dad gets angry all the time. It was probably something stupid like letting my wet hair drip on the floor or forgetting to arrange the plates in a certain way. Who knows? I bite my lip. Huimin has a violent father. As the eldest daughter in the family, she has been raised to shoulder the responsibilities of taking care of both the household chores and her younger brother. She's the most hard-working and meticulous person I know, yet her father continued to find fault in her. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I'm just unlucky. Sometimes I wonder if I did something to deserve this. If I'm a bad daughter after all. Women, you're not. Then what am I supposed to do for my family to be happy with me? It feels like there's an imaginary bar I'm trying to reach, but I don't know where or what it is. It's just incomprehensible to me. Well, let's hope that Shira's just gonna get you out of here. And now, David, I don't know how it happened. It was as if something took over me and I just... Oh god, am I just like my dad? Just as violent and senseless? That's not true, women. It was an accident. I know it is. You didn't want to hurt him. Yeah, I won't hurt David on purpose, right? After all, I love him. I want to marry him. Oh. My heart sinks. Well, he's dead now, so that can't happen. I've known this, but still my gut retches with disappointment. If I could marry him, we could get a house and I could move out. It felt like the only way I could escape, the only way my family would let me go. But now it's over. My dream is over, Shira. I leave women to settle down in the room. Something draws me to the backyard again. The grave we've made is still there, a fresh mound of dirt in the midst of long overgrown grass. I think of his body, broken and buried beneath. I want him to rot. I want his flesh and skin to break apart and separate from bone, for the earth to consume him whole and leave nothing to touch her ever again. My head whips up at the sound, squinting at the trees. Belatedly, I'm reminded of the ritual Min and I had done as kids. How we had tied a red string to a tree, just like the many of them here. Who is? Huh. Oh, something moved. Before I can get my sentence out, the figure disappears as suddenly as it had appeared. I left with my heart pounding like a drumbeat, limbs trembling and skin speckled with goosebumps. I quickly returned to the room. Min had changed into a fresh set of clothes, but hadn't moved to dry off her hair. She stood motionless in a corner of the room, wet hair dripping onto the floor. I grabbed a towel and approached her. Min? Min turned at the sound of my voice. She had stopped crying, but her eyes still looked glassy, eyes red-rimmed and puffy. Despite looking in my direction, I wasn't sure if she was seeing me. I ignored that and pushed on. Come here, I'll help you dry off your hair. She doesn't move. I go to her instead. She doesn't protest when I take hold of her hair, sandwiching it between the towel and rubbing the strands dry. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. You didn't mean to. Did I really? Did I really not mean to? I pause. No, of course she didn't. The guilt is just eating away at her. I would still like to know what exactly happened, though. I wish it would end already, be done flowing out of whatever well of conscience it came from. I wish we could move on, away from the shadow of him. He's dead, for God's sake. It's not gonna be that easy for his parents, though, family in general. I wish I had done it instead. I won't look back. It was an accident, that's all it was, Min. Min falls silent again. Talk about how you graduated together. Oh, I really like the UI. red string of fate. Do you remember when we graduated together? Secondary school? Yeah. It was our first real taste of freedom. The first time in years I could spend months without worrying about either homework or exams. Both of us were 16, teenagers longing to eat out, play around and stay out late. We lusted for the autonomy that adulthood promised. We wanted to do everything all at once. It was exhilarating, especially so with women by my side. Do you remember how we would split the McDonald's meal so we could save money? Or how we would walk around the whole mall with bubble tea and just window shop? We were so carefree back then. We were. Even though I was a mundane in hindsight, those times meant a lot to me. It was what I clung to after Hui Min and I drifted apart. Did you think back about them too? Oh, that was when I dyed my hair for the first time. We finally didn't have annoying school rules about our hair or attire, so I itched to do something with it. I made you pick out the color for me. It's the same maroon shade I have right now. When the color first came out, Hui Min said it was so pretty on me. And I had kept it since then, religiously re-dyeing the roots each time they grew out, until it felt like it was my own hair. I also really like this shade of red. I also want to have red hair again in real life, but my hair doesn't take to color anymore. It's still the same color. It grew on me. God, going through memories really feels like pressing on a bruise shaped like a pathetic, fruitless crush. Back then, things felt almost perfect. I thought our relationship was heading in the right trajectory. It was only a matter of time, and I got the ending I wanted. That she will say yes instead of pushing me away. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm going to lie down. Can you turn off the lights? Okay. Okay. Big music. Let's do as she says. Turn off the light. Ah, da. Who the fuck are you? We saw you before. I felt something squeezing my chest, making it impossible to breathe. I think of whispered ghost stories and urban legends of the secrets muttered between two teenage girls. I think Hui Min and what happened when... we slept over together? I see my bedroom in its familiar layout. Things have been shuffled around, nostalgic trinkets scattered around the room again. Hui Min and I are teenagers, huddled on my bed, refusing to go to sleep even though it was well past midnight. We had ditched the class gathering earlier in the day, cycling to my place nearby to hang out instead. What do you think they're doing now? Probably playing Truth or Dare or some stupid games. Hui Min lets out a huff. Yeah, they'll probably try to pair me up with Ouija again if I was there. My throat tightens. This was around the time of my life when I started to wonder if I liked girls. It was a secret I was desperate to hide. The thought of anyone finding out, especially my parents, left me deeply mortified. Still, despite my attempts to quell it, jealousy stirs in my gut. Well, do you like him? Hui Min makes a face and I relax. No way, he thinks he's so good looking, but he's really just average. I can't stand him actually. I wish I could see his reaction if you say that to his face. Hui Min grins lazily, nuzzling her face into the pillow. Maybe I should surprise him for graduation. Give that inflated ego a good kick. We giggled some more. I felt dizzy with joy, gloriously relieved that we were on the same side, that women doesn't like him after all. I don't really want to sleep yet, Shira. Maybe we could play a game too? What game? I blinked, shuffling closer. Truth or dare? Sure. Okay, truth or dare? Truth. Have you ever had a crush on someone? Oh, I hadn't expected her to ask something like that. So cliched and embarrassing, yet drawn so confidently from her lips. I suppose she won't know who, even if I answered honestly. Yes? Women smiled. Now you ask me. Truth or dare? Truth. I'm a petty, immature teenager. Her question had flustered me, so I wanted to turn the tables back on her. Have you ever kissed someone? There is the slightest hint of a blush on woman's cheeks, but she answers without wavering. Yes, at one of the camps. My breath stills. I hate that I asked, even though I knew the answer would feel like a truck running me over. My stupid, sensitive heart hurt, and I wanted to cry and end the game. Now's your turn again. Truth or dare? I stared at her, blinking slowly. Suddenly I'm tired of honesty. My heart already feels raw, bleeding on my sleeve just from a few questions. There, whatever. I dare you to kiss me. Girl, you cannot do that to her. You cannot do that to her. Oh my god. My eyes go wide. What? You haven't kissed anyone before, right? No, I haven't, but... It's really nothing much, Shira. No. It really isn't nothing much. I feel like I'm going to die. Here I am with an embarrassing crush on a girl who is going to kiss me, but she thinks it's nothing much. We went inches closer. I closed my eyes, nerves keeping me frozen in place. She presses her lips to mine, a small, chaste, barely dare kiss. Yo, honestly, that's not a very straight thing to do, just so you know, even as a dare. Not a very straight thing to do at all. No. I had forgotten how it felt, but I'm so immersed in this memory that it comes back to me. It's almost cruel how vivid it is. The corner of my vision, I see a shape behind the curtain. That's when I knew that this memory, returning like this, is her. The spirit of the banana tree, the demon I made my wish to. This is a cruel way of dangling what I want back, what I want badly before my eyes. Because despite women kissing me that night, it was nothing more than a meaningless act. Years later, after I grew to accept my sexuality and plucked up the courage to tell her how I felt, she rejected me. I could try to date you, but I think that in the end, I'll probably end up with a guy, so I don't want to waste your time. She won't even give me a chance. She didn't think we had an ending together. I get it, I really do, but as much as I've resigned to it, having this memory dragged up from the depths and made afresh once more, I just want her all over again. I see the bedroom again. I'm back at the chalet. My body still feels prickly with phantom sensations. My chest feels tight with emotions, the weight of it so heavy that I felt nauseated, ready to bend over and throw up on the floor. Min is lying on the bed, motionless. Do you remember the ritual we did when we were younger? You wanted us to make a wish together, but I wished for something else. Maybe that's why it didn't come true. Maybe that's why we didn't stay best friends like you'd hoped for. Because I didn't want just to be friends. I want you. And today I know I always will. That I will run to him inside without a single seed of doubt. That I will lie and kill and bury for her. Even if she said not to waste my time on her, I would chase the imprint of her kiss forever. I will feed the pieces of my dream into her, force my pleas and promises past her lips, even if I know she will always, always spit them back out. I know that, and I've known that for years, and still the dream does not die. Woman opens her eyes. That's quite an expression. I see the shadow from the backyard, the window, the one who twists my gut in ways both nauseating and intoxicating. I see the red thread I had tied myself to her, the way she followed me through the forest, through the dark, through the years of my turbulent life. Of course, it's the only way it can happen for me. Show me. She reaches up, cupping my face in her hand. Show me that you want me. I'm waiting. I don't care that it feels wrong. I'm long past that. So I let her drag me down and kiss her. Her lips are sweet, but as she opens her mouth to invite me in, the taste on my tongue turns sour, just like rotten flesh. It should repulse me, but something about it feels intoxicating. I move to straddle her, wanting to be closer. I imagine our bodies as broken puzzle pieces, forced together by a wish, bruising where we meet. If it hurts enough, maybe we can be molded into the shape of each other. I run my hands along her stomach. She moans, a soft haunting sound. It strips me naked, desire rising in my gut like bile. I push my fingers on her blouse, unearthing more and more bruises. Red, purple, blue, the sum of her wounds mapped out beneath my hands. She's beautiful. I don't care if this ruins me. I don't care if the pressure crushes my organs, or if my secrets I spilled from my lips and never returned. I don't care if she takes me apart and never puts me back together. I'll gladly be swallowed by a tide of our making. Shira! She curls her arms around my neck, pulling herself close, her lips pressed against my throat. Do you know the price of your wish? I know she's speaking against my skin, but I hear her voice inside my head, deep and guttural like an inhuman growl. Suddenly her nails grow sharp against my skin, scraping against my pulse. My body goes cold. I swallow. She must taste my fear through my throat. She must know that as much as I am afraid, I will not run. I feel her lips pull tight into a smile, all teeth against the jugular of my neck. It's you. Ooh. I close my eyes. I hope my blood is warm against her lips. I hope my heart is as black as it feels. And I hope that when she's done with me, that she will drag me straight to hell. It doesn't matter if it's a bad ending, as long as it's one I can share with her. Well, this feels more like women who was possessed by the demon. Jeez. Alrighty, next ending. Let's talk about the memory. Do you remember when we were in primary 4 together? I got bullied and you had to wash my hair for me, just like this. Oh, yeah, you were much more timid then. And you were unhinged. Min lets out a soft, humorless laugh. Yeah, things were so different back then. I remember I got told to read aloud in class. Back then, I had a hard time projecting my voice. Even something simple like reading a page out loud in class was a nightmare. The teacher was such a jerk. The teacher was such a jerk for picking on you for that. Yeah, she made me repeat it again and again because I wasn't loud enough, until the class got frustrated with me. It was a bunch of boys who picked on you after, right? They were pissed that we were late to recess break. The boys cornered me after class ended, confronting me as if I had done the whole thing on purpose. Out of guard, I didn't know how to respond as my cheeks burned in mortification. It all happened so fast. Suddenly someone was grabbing my hair and another was uncapping a bottle of glue and pouring it into my braids. Oh God! You appeared right after then and saved me. More like, just cursed them out until they ran off. Yeah, what did you use? Dialect? Learned it from my dad. I was grateful for Min clutching onto her hand like a lifeline as she led me to the washroom to clean up. Shame had consumed me and I apologized profusely. But she deflected all of it. She forced me to accept her care instead. Min guided me to tilt my head back into the sink, tagging off my hair tie to release the black waves of my hair. Then she switched on the tap and ran water through my hair. I closed my eyes, sinking into the sensation. Her fingers combed through my hair, starting at the tips, carefully breaking up clumps of dried glue. She worked her way up to my scalp, tugging and untangling the strands of my hair. She was so meticulous, so gentle, that my heart ached. It was such a sharp contrast to how she treated the boys. I couldn't help thinking how lucky I was to be the one best friend that she had chosen. It was the first time I felt painfully vulnerable in her presence. For someone like me, who doubted everything and struggled to keep my head up, her unwavering presence was so precious. I'm glad we became friends. Me too. Min seems calmer. Her shoulders have loosened up and her eyes are closing. Running water fills the silence. I wonder if she ever gets the same fluttering, vulnerable sensation I did. If this feels as intimate for her as it did for me back then, or if it's really nothing but a favor. Thank you, Shira. It's nothing. I think your hair's clean now. No, I mean talking about the past. It was nice. I missed it. Alrighty, next choice. Talk about university. Do you remember what it was like in university? I was anxious. It was the first time we were really apart. I had a hard time, actually. I was unsure about the new environment, so I tried to keep in touch with you as much as I could. I see. When university started, both of us had adjusted to a new kind of curriculum and new classmates. I was lost without her, frantically clinging onto a friendship through text messages and calls. On the other hand, Min fit in better in her class. She made friends quickly. On the other hand, Min fit in... she even met him. University was where you met him, right? Yes, I met David then. David was her first proper boyfriend. She was devoted to him, almost desperately so. I hated it. I remember joylessly coiling in my gut, thinking that it's so easy for him. David was a tall and decent-looking boy pursuing business in university. He was popular and sociable in class, did well in school, and even played sports on the weekend. The exact type of guy who would make an ideal son-of-law. I knew it wasn't hard for him to approach Min, and it wasn't hard for Min to say yes either, because boys like girls and girls like boys, didn't they? I could try to best him in everything. I could work to get better grades, play more sports, grow my social circles. But my attempts for anything more than a platonic friendship will always be wrought with disappointment. Fucking heteronormativity. All I could do was step back and watch it unfold, let envy claw at the hollow of my gut, hungry for what it can't have. I wanted to be happy for you, but you always wanted your meal times and weekends. You start giving so much of yourself to him. I just felt pushed aside, I guess. I'm sorry. It's fine. It's not all your fault. I remember trying to hate her for treating a friendship like this. But once I had the opportunity to see her again, a smile, a hug, the sound of her melodious voice, all that bitterness was pushed under the rug. I just missed you. And I still do, now. Sometimes I think if only I was a boy, if only I was him. Oh, how much simpler it would be. I won't even need a twisted wish like this. I won't need a demon like her. I think of David, the boy we had buried under the layers and layers of earth. I think of the square edge of his boyish jaw, the bob of his Adam's apple, the broad slope of his shoulders. His Human still loved those parts of him, rotting as he must be. My stomach feels so hollowed out from the disappointment that it hurts. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm gonna lie down. Alrighty. And wait. I hesitate, finger hovering over the switch. The shadow lingers on my mind. Shira? Okay, wait. Okay, so it seems it doesn't matter. I can choose wait for as long as I want. I need to turn off the lights somehow. Still scary. Alrighty. And now, when Human and her boyfriend fought. She said they had a fight. I see the room before me again, furniture in disarray, broken glass strewn over the floor. I can hear Human sniffling, holding back tears. David is gritting his teeth. I thought we wanted to get engaged because you loved me. Babe, I do. Then why are you treating applying for a BTO flat together like a business transaction? It's supposed to be a home, not an investment. You're being unreasonable. How can you ask me to pay more for the down payment just because I earn a little more than you? It should be a 50-50 split, otherwise you're just taking advantage of me. Oh yeah. But David, you know I almost have no savings. I pay for my family's bills and whatever expenses they suddenly throw at me. I'm not trying to take advantage of you, I'm just asking for your help. So you think you have responsibilities? Or that I'm made of money just because I paid for a Bali trip last year? No, I'm not saying that. I treat you so well, but you're just complacent now. Were you planning to use me to pay for a flat just so you can move out? That's not it. If you wanted a house of your own so bad, you should have worked harder so you can afford a down payment instead of relying on a guy. It's not that easy most of the time, you know. Girls are all like that. You say you have no money, but then you go shopping and spend it all on frivolous stuff. I didn't. Stop making excuses. I'm sick of you crying about everything. Do something instead of relying on me. Then David grabs her. No. Don't hurt her. Woman gasped, a bruise blooming under his tight hold. No, David, please. So he started it. He has no pity from me. He flings her into the furniture. Woman cries out as she crashes and rolls onto the floor with a dull thud. Did you really love me, or were you just using me? David, I love you, I really do. She's on her hands and knees, reeling from the blow. David approaches her. Stop fucking lying. He grabs woman again, jerking her head up to look at him. Betrayal burns in her eyes. She knows this violence too well. Yep. Anger boils in my blood. How dare he do this to her? I want to reach into the memory, break his arms and bruise him. Even if all I have are my bare teeth and fingernails, I will tear up his skin and make him bleed. My body grows hot, like a fire is rising in my gut. Darkness spots over my vision, something tugs at my limbs. The spirit in the banana tree. The demon I told my wish to. Then I am nails digging into his skin, scratches and blood trailing where I dream of revenge. This is woman's body, but she is a vessel for my wish, and I wish to hurt him, tear him up, ruin him. David fights back, bruises and blood blooming where we crash into each other. Frustration bubbles up in my chest. It's unfair how strong he is. It's unfair how easily he can get his way. It's unfair how he gets to be him. I stare at him, watch the blood trail down his face. It must mirror what he'd done to her. I want what you have. I start to say, I don't care how anymore. I don't know if he hears me. These words are in my head, screaming, but my mouth doesn't move to form them. Then I hear her whispering, take it. Kill him so you can take it. A near strength seeps into my arm, something so intense that it almost sends me reeling off balance. I step forward and shove him with all of it. David crashes into the table. The top shatters, glass scattering over the floor. His body slumps into the side, blood pooling on the floor, a deep red. This is how it happened. So essentially, the demon made you kill David in terms of possessing woman's body? Interesting. Interesting indeed. So that's how it happened. Thank you. Getting the other ending. Woman is lying on the bed, her body turned away from me. Her shoulders are shaking as she presses her face into the pillow and cries. I'm sorry, David. I'm so sorry. Woman. I put my hand on her shoulder. Do I want to comfort her? Do I just want her to stop saying his name? I don't know how it happened. Stop, it's already over. He's already dead. I wished for it and I don't regret it, so I stop dwelling on it and look at me. Look at me, please. Meg, I pull away, my stomach dropping like a stone in the ocean. This must be the cruelest joke of all. I'm sure David is laughing in his grave. All this, and I'm still not enough. Deep in my gut, I feel a gawning pain. It's familiar, something I've known for years. It's the feeling when I see his arm around her waist in the photos, when she addresses him and touches his cheek, when woman picks him over and over and over again. I wanted to be mine. I wanted to be mine. I dreamt of a slow but sweet romance. I dreamt of Min, the fearless girl who didn't care what anyone else thought, leading me into it. And me, the introverted girl who struggled to even express a single opinion of my own, gladly following along. But nothing happened. And all I have is a pathetic, twisted wish. Interesting how that dynamic basically switched From Huamin being the more dominant one to now Shira being the one who is pulling along. Slowly, I began to hear hissing in my head. It started soft, like a wind pushing past the curtains. Then it grows louder, raspy voices in a harsh, unfamiliar tongues. Her whisper is the curl of a finger, a torn thread tugging on my feet. I'm back outside, looking into the backyard where we buried him. A harsh breeze cuts through the forest, raising goosebumps across my skin. I stare at the mound of earth, at the grave we had dug for him. He's right there, my mind supplies, the boy I wanted to become. My gut stings, painful with all I want, but I'm still missing. For the first time, I have a name for it. Hunger. I drop to my knees and start digging. I am unsure about this plan of yours. The thoughts in my head begin to cease, replaced by the repetitive scraping of earth against my hands. Then I hit flesh. He is, his boyish jaw, Adamant's apple, and broad shoulders rotting away. And he still loves him, even though he hurt him, even though he... Take what you want. The voice is in a tongue I shouldn't recognize, but I know what it says. After all, it's been in my head for a while. Demon or devil, it doesn't matter. She's the one who hurt me all those years ago. She's the only one who knows how bad I wanted this. Wear his skin and your wish can come true too. The hollow ache in my stomach is all-consuming, something that threatens to eat me up from the inside out. Wear his skin. I reach forward, sinking my hands into flesh. It breaks easily under my fingers. Blood slicks over my fingers, smearing over my hands. I think about how I am taking him apart. I think about how I am breaking his boyish features, his easy charm, and whatever women love down to its elements again. I think... And now I can build myself anew with it. I bring my hands up to my lips. He's bitter and sweet, something I hate and something she loved. I chew. Flesh breaks against my teeth, tearing and tearing apart. Blood runs over my tongue, down my lips and my throat. For the first time, the gnawing pit in my stomach has settled. She can love me now. I feel relieved, even though the rot in my mouth makes me want to heave. Shira? Awkward, yeah. My head whips around. I see Huamin by the door, a phone cradled carefully in her hands. She looks terrified. What are you doing? I hear sirens in the distance, red, blue lights flashing in the night. Of course, she can now very easily push this on you. I wanted you to be mine. You won't even look at me. Not even after I killed him. So I wanted to be him, and was the only way. No. No. God. It was all I ever wished for all those years ago. The sirens are closer now, but it's okay. I have all I ever wanted now. Her voice has gone quiet for a while too. I begin to wonder if maybe there really was no malevolent spirit or demon. Just me. Just me, who ruined women in their dream. Me, whose jealous heart set us all on a trajectory towards hell. It's a hell hug, Radley, except... Ooh. Alrighty. This was it. Well, this was a great bad end time. As bad as I feel for Shira. How she was essentially led on and then passed aside. Though it's not like Hui Min had an easier life either. She probably thought that David was her best way of getting out of a terrible family life. But, well, conforming to heteronormative society will not always grant you the happy ending you want. Anyway, very good game. Greatly enjoyed both terrible endings. Really liked the art style. And of course the UI was absolutely fantastic. Oh, I absolutely love the theme of the red thread and the hands in it. I really do like toxic tragic yuri like this. Gotta hunt for more later. Thank you very much for making this game. Thank you very much for watching me. And until next time, bye bye!